Chop or catch.
Alright. Some people down here don't think you have the guts to do it.
Pick me up.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I'm your host, Mando Podcast. I hope everybody's doing wonderful. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind of Mando. Oh man, what can I say about today? Nothing much, really. Same things, different day. You know what I mean? Sky's still gray, still cloudy. I've been on and off with the drizzling lately. I don't know what's going on this year, 2023. Very, very water-friendly year, let me tell you that right now. So, you know, I can't complain about water. Can't complain about the rain. I hope the rain continues, but I hope the weather can get back to normal as well. Summertime's hot, sunny, beach fun. Spring, the month of blooms and flowers and beauty. You know, fall. Fall is when, you know, the leaves fall, change color, getting prepared for the winter time, winter, wherever you are, rain, snow, whatever. And then right back to where it started. Well, anyways, I know I said that order. I don't care, but you know, yeah, I hope you guys are doing good today. It's still morning time where I'm at right now. Let me turn that down a little bit. One more notch. All right, it's still morning time where I'm at right now. At least when I'm recording this, is just the day after I just recorded the previous episode I uploaded yesterday, which is cool. You know, a lot of plans happening for today. No, not really. It's my Monday. It's got to get to work. Got to mentally prepare myself for the crap that I'm gonna have to face when I get home, get to work and everything like that. Because, you know, 2 days off, as everybody who works knows, that when certain jobs, 2 days, a lot can happen in 2 days. You can be leaving work on your Friday, everything's good, smooth running, everything. Boom, Monday, you come back after your 2 days off, or 1 day off, whatever. Well, let's just say 2 days. And next thing you know, somebody slipped, fell, cracked their head open, blood everywhere. Or like maybe there was a holdup, or maybe like, I don't know, like a machine crushed somebody. I don't know, some crazy stuff, you know, let me tell you that. But you know, that's just what we gotta expect. Man, you know what I was looking at? I think it's the video before this episode started. The Forest, or Sons of the Forest and everything. Just, I haven't played that game in a long ass time, my boys. I gotta hit them up again and be like, yo, when are we down to play? Yeah, no, just a very, very fun game. I mean, the first one, I remember when the first one came out. It came out shortly after I got my first laptop back in 2013, I believe. Damn, that was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago. Jesus Christ. 2013. And, yeah, it came out shortly after. I started hearing things about it. Started, like, you know, seeing trailers of it. Didn't know what it was. Survival game, survival horror. Never played a game like that before until that time. And I downloaded it. At its very, very early stages. I think alpha and everything. And, man, was it a broken game. But it was creepy. The music. Oh, my God, the music. Just something about it. It was just like, it could be years. Well, it was years until I started playing it again. And I think, what was it? Yeah, until I got this PC. So this year, damn, 10 years. Almost 10 years, I guess. Because I think it got released at the end of 2013. And just the music. The music was just so iconic, so incredible, so crazy, you know. Just love it. I can listen to that, you know, just casually. But I told my buddies this. I told them the first game, The Forest compared to Sons of the Forest, The first one is a lot scarier. It's a lot creepier. It's a lot of nerve wracking and everything like that. Because it's just like, I don't know what they did with the first one. I think they were really trying to put the horror in the survival horror aspect. Because even night times in the first one are a lot scarier than the second one. The second one, I feel like the second one, they just took everything that made the first one good and worked on that. And just started adding new mechanics, because a lot of the fixes, a lot of the patches and the bug fixes and everything are due to mainly the newer things in the game that the first one didn't have. Everything else was fine. Everything else was taken care of. But like the new things are the ones that need to work. But still, it was very fun. I don't know if I can go back playing just the forest. I mean, if my boys are down, hell yeah. But like, I still wanted to finish the second one. The second one got really invested in the story. I know there's videos out there explaining what's happening in the second one or what's going on, how it ends and everything. But I purposely avoid watching any of those, because it's like I want to beat it. I want to beat it myself. I got past the Puffertons. I got past them. Spoilers. So those who haven't played it, I got past them, and I think that's really about as far as we got, and nothing else after that. Just don't know anything else after that. I know one thing got spoiled for me, one thing, and it was I'm not gonna say the scene, but let's just say we haven't gotten to that point yet. So I know there's more left to do. But yeah, the forest, it's incredible. I want to play it again with my homies. And I don't know, I might just hit them up. Well, anyways, I don't think I'm going to do a very long episode this time around. I just want to talk about two things. One thing that happened last year, actually, last July. Wow, almost a year already. And how do you call it? Another thing that happened just the other day. Like, at least from when I see the videos, it says a day ago. So probably some point today, it's going to change from a day to 2 days, you know? So let's just say 2 days ago for the sake of accuracy. So, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm just looking at this ad real quick. It's all right. So, how do you call it? First one, the most recent one. I think this episode is gonna really go back to the whole accountability. Remember that, like some episodes ago, like 20 episodes ago or something, there was like a streak where I was just talking about accountability and everything, the importance of it, how it sucks, but you need to do it because that just shows growth and the fact that you are a responsible person who takes, accountability, who holds themselves to accountable for things that they've done. You do something wrong, you did something wrong, and you're like, hey guys, I screwed up. I messed up. This is on me. It takes a big person to do that. But, a lot of people don't like to, but you have to. Well, anyways, I'm going to read to you the article. Actually, am I going to read to you the article first? No, you know what? Let me just show you the video. I'm going to edit down the video because a good chunk of it is dash cam footage and you got to just sit through it. And I'm just going to give you the good parts. Here you go.
He's the guy that, You gonna pull over?
Please say a command.
Pull over. Three 113 to 313.
What? I am going into work, my man. Why are you trying to pull me over as I'm going into work?
Because you're going 80 and a 45.
I am going into work.
Okay, where are you going to work?
What does it look like I am dressed for?
What
does it look like I am dressed for?
My name is Deputy Hilton, and they see your driver's license.
No.
Okay. 3113, copy at 1050. 10-4, I got a city, Orlando PD taking off from a traffic stop. It's going to be X-Ray Foxtrot 6207, XF 6207. You refuse to stop.
www.syncmyride.com.
All right. So, like you saw there, and as you guys may have guessed it now, the accountability topic for today is police holding other law enforcement officers accountable for their actions. We all got to understand, law enforcement, they have liberties and freedoms that private citizens just do not. When it comes down to speeding, when it comes down to the ability to detain, to arrest, and everything, and not have it considered kidnapping, it's all liberties and freedoms and rights that have been bestowed upon them as law enforcement officers. So, how do you call it? And along with things like law enforcement, there's a sense of brotherhood. You understand? Brotherhood. Where people who can grow up in different places, cities, states, countries, who have different backgrounds, different ethnicities, gender, nationalities, just history altogether, can come together to do this one type of work, and even in different departments, maybe even in different states, and just understand each other. And just with that mutual, profession, just know that when crap hits the fan, you both can rely on each other instantly, because it's a brotherhood. It's just understood. A brotherhood can come in different forms. If you're thinking about a brotherhood for the government, you can think about the military, about maybe even federal police. When you're thinking about brotherhood through the state, you got the troopers. Through counties, you got the sheriffs. Through cities, you got city police. If you're going the other route and thinking about a brotherhood for, I don't know, how do you say it? A gang. Don't join gangs. Do not join gangs, but gangs can be some sort of brotherhood. Think about it. A lot of these gangs do it to represent their neighborhood and represent their block, represent all this stuff. It's supposed to be like you and I, we understand each other. We're from this place. We love this place, yada, yada. We fight for these streets. We die for these streets. It's not the smartest thing, but, and just gangs have the fact that they have to jump you in. That's insane. And the fact that some gangs are like, you either leave, what was it? You own place. The only way you can leave is through a casket and everything. And it's just like, well, damn. But, what do you call it? But people consider gangs brotherhoods. Think about outlaws. Outlaws, MCs. You got Los Vagos. You got the Mongols. You got speaking of Mongols, my tattoo artist, he's a Mongol. Think about the Hells Angels. All this stuff. Brotherhood right there. The whole concept of the brotherhood, I don't think that's a bad thing. Hell, even in video games, think about it. Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is they call themselves a brotherhood and everything. I mean, in the beginning, they called themselves the Hidden Ones. I don't know if they used the phrase brotherhood at that point. But when an Assassin's Creed first was released back in like 2007, 2008, it was a brotherhood. Think Assassin's Creed with Ezio's Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Ever since then, they just started calling each other the Brotherhood. Or they don't call themselves the Assassin Order or anything like that, So I'm not saying that brotherhoods are bad. I say I respect them because, like I said, you're in that life, whatever life that may be, with others who are the same exact way. Doesn't matter your background or the way you were raised. You just have that mutual understanding and respect for one another. But that doesn't mean that you guys can't hold each other accountable, which is why a lot of people believe when it comes down to police officers or any form of law enforcement that does something shady, does something illegal, they're all like, hey, they never get in trouble because they got to look out for each other. They got to take care of each other and everything. They got to cover for each other. Excuse me. And I'm not saying that's false. I'm not saying that there's no truth to those statements. What I am saying, though, is that it's not just black and white. You know, it's not just like they look out for each other or they don't. It happens, but it also happens that others are like, nah, I don't care if you and I have a badge. I don't care if you and I swore an oath to protect the citizens of this city or county. You are breaking the law and you need to be held accountable. So this is what this video was talking about. So basically, let me read you this article regarding the video. The headline: Orlando police officer arrested after speeding through traffic, swerving around car in body cam video. So article says, a Florida police officer was arrested when he was caught speeding on his way back to work before arguing with a sheriff's deputy and driving off last Friday. Orlando police officer Alexander Shawnee, let's just say Shawnee, allegedly drove 80 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. That is insane. 35 miles per hour over the speed limit. Drove 80 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone in his marked patrol car without any lights or sirens on, according to the dash cam footage. I'm going to touch upon that in a bit. After seeing Shawnee race past him down a local road, the sheriff's deputy activated his lights, turned around in a nearby driveway, and pursued the speeding squad car. By the time the deputy got turned around, Shawnee was nowhere in sight, and the deputy was forced to hit triple digits driving down a 2-lane road, over 100 miles per an hour, trying to catch up to him, the deputy says during the chase. When the deputy allegedly caught up to the fleeing patrol car, Shawnee seemingly turned his own lights on and briefly pulled over before he drove off again. And the pursuing deputy, Jesus Christ, what is happening to me today? The pursuing deputy yells out the passenger window, asking Shawnee if he is going to pull over once he finally stops. What are you doing? Shawnee asks. I'm going to work, my man. Why am I reading that hella robotic? I'm going to work, my man. Why are you trying to pull me over as I'm going to work? Continues, because you're going 80 in a 45, the deputy answers. I'm going to work, Shawnee responds before showing off his uniform with the Orlando police vest. What does it look like I'm dressed for? The deputy then asks Shawnee for his driver's license as he attempts to conduct a traffic stop. Shawnee hops back into his patrol car and takes off after refusing to hand over his driver's license, with the deputy once again giving chase. Shawnee was charged with resisting an officer, reckless driving, and fleeing, eluding a law enforcement officer with lights and sirens active, according to a booking report viewed by The Post. Following the failed traffic stop, officials are able to identify Shawnee through his badge and police cruiser number, while body cam footage also showed his written name across the chest of his police vest. Shawnee was relieved of his duties from the department shortly after the arrest, pending review. Oh man, Jesus Christ, it's terrible. So basically, this is why the whole reason I'm saying accountable and everything, despite being in a brotherhood, so to say, because why do laws exist? Laws exist to keep order, just like the Templars. Keep order, keep structure, keep everybody safe, especially when it comes down to speed limits. There's a reason certain roads are certain speed limits. When you're on the highway or freeway, you could be like 60 miles an hour, maybe 65. I've seen certain places that are 70, but those who are in the very high numbers are because, one, it's a long stretch of road. There's no houses, no driveways, no areas where you have to pull in to go to a shopping center or to a gas station or anything else like that. So therefore, you can afford to go faster, to be a lot more efficient and everything. But when you go in a place that's usually 25, 30, 40, 45 miles per hour, it's usually because those places are accessible by pedestrians, by people who are walking along the sides or anything like that, who are trying to cross and all that stuff. Hell, even in the beginning, when you see the police officer passing the sheriffs going 80 miles per hour, you see a mailbox on the right-hand side of the dash cam. It means somebody has to go there to get their mail, So there's a reason speed limits are what they are. So when you're going 80 miles per hour with no lights, no sirens, absolutely no reason to be going 80 miles per hour besides just wanting to go fast, it's a problem. It's a problem that can cause that can cost the life of an innocent human being. Maybe even your own life if you decide, if you manage to, like, I don't know, lose control and hit something solid like a lamppost or a tree that's been aging for over 100 years, you know? It's like, have you guys ever seen pictures like that? Cars hitting trees that have been there for so long that, because I don't know if you realize this, but the roots of trees are strong, are very strong. Just the longer they've been there, the stronger they are. So I've seen trees just mess up cars that you wouldn't even imagine could be messed up in certain ways. Trees can just withstand them. So how do you call it? So yeah, as a law enforcement officer, you're supposed to lead by example. Basically, you're held through a higher standard. Like I said, yes, earlier, there is certain freedoms and liberties that law enforcement officers are bestowed upon because of their job, because of their responsibility and their requirements. But that doesn't mean that they're safe from repercussions when they themselves break those laws just because they wear a uniform, just because they swore an oath and everything. No. How do you say it? So when this police officer, Orlando police officer, was going down the road 80 miles in a 45 mile per hour zone, it's dangerous. Like I said earlier, there's a mailbox in the dash cam footage in the very beginning on the right hand side. Somebody needs to cross that road, because if you guys go back and look at it, you guys will see that there's nothing on the right hand side leading to a house, so it's probably on the left. So they probably have to cross that road to get to that mailbox. So when somebody has to cross that road, and they don't see the car coming, or they hear the car coming, they're gonna die if they get hit, especially by a vehicle going 80 miles an hour. Excuse me, I got a burp. Thank you. Excuse me. All right. Why did he say thank you? That's weird. So yeah. So it's that. It's dangerous. You got to lead by example. How are you expecting to enforce the law on others when you yourself can't follow the law? The liberty is an exception when it comes down going faster than the speed limit posting. Is you have to have your lights, your sirens on in order to alert everybody that you're on your way, because those sirens are loud, those lights are bright, and where if you can't see the lights, you can hear the siren. Unless you're Helen Keller, I mean, you have no excuse. But like this police officer had none, meaning he put himself and, most importantly, the lives of others just minding their own business in danger. So of course the sheriff had to give chase, because despite being a police officer, you are breaking laws, sir. Traffic laws. So as you see, the sheriff turns around, he puts on his lights and sirens, although you can only hear his sirens. I don't think I saw lights, but it's because they're on top, of course. But lights and sirens, that indicates that he's giving chase. He's doing what he's supposed to in a pursuit. So he goes and he chases that officer for a while, pulls that officer over, and you see the interaction in the video and what I read for you, where the officer's like, what, you know, what do you think I'm going to work, this, and that, yada, yada, you know, look at my uniform, look how I'm dressed, I'm going to work, this and that. That's no excuse, sir. That's no excuse. You need to follow the law. If you're going into work, great. Are you responding to an emergency, a code 3 call, anything? No, of course you're not, because you don't have your lights and sirens on. So why are you going fast? If you need to take a crap, dude, I understand that's an emergency, and it sucks because you're most likely going to have to crap yourself or squat behind a bush, which is a lot more difficult since it's daytime. But you still got to follow the law. You still have to follow the law. It's insane. It's insane. And the fact that this officer got insanely mad and irritated, the fact that a sheriff's deputy is pulling him over, treating him just like everybody else, it speaks volumes. Because like I said, everybody needs to be held accountable. Whether they're law enforcement or not, they need to be held accountable. So the fact that this officer not only did that speeding stuff, 80 and a 45, but the fact that he also refused to give his driver's license, and the fact that he also left the scene, he's breaking more laws right there. I understand there's a rivalry between, like, you know, police and sheriffs, but usually that's good fun. That's usually just a little prodding at each other and everything like that, you know. I get that. Some of them take it seriously, some of them don't. But I know there's like a little rivalry right there, but it's all fun, good and fun. That's what it's supposed to be, at least. In this case, it wasn't just, you know, oh, you're a police officer, screw you. It's more of, hey, dude, you're going to kill somebody. You need to know this. We need to address this right now. And this guy's like, nah, screw you, fool. I'm leaving. And he left. And as you guys saw, that it wasn't even much of an investigation. I mean, like, dude had his police vehicle there, the number of his cruiser, the fact that it showed his department and his name on his vest. That's why he was relieved of duty. And then after he was arrested, because he was arrested. So there you go. Great example of cops law enforcement holding other law enforcement accountable. There's a lot more like this, which, you know, a lot of people may think, hear this or look at this and be like, you know, finally they're doing something. This has been happening for a long time. The only problem is this: just like everything else that doesn't fit the agenda or the how do you call it? What is another word for it? Not agenda, but I don't know, what's popular, I guess I could say. What's popular in today's days, when things like this happen, unless they are huge and made of a spectacle, they're not gonna have any airtime. They're not gonna be looked at, talked about, or anything, because it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's how do you say it? Just okay. Well, that's not interesting, so we're gonna go ahead and focus on something else. When it comes down to law enforcement, holding law enforcement accountable, there's a lot of cases. Just nobody wants to pay attention to them. Well, at least big media doesn't want to pay attention to them unless it's a huge ass thing, you know? That's why it's just like, I think I gave this example before. Like, let's say one day I say something like, hey, egg rolls make you grow 3 arms. And then other people go like, hey, egg rolls make you grow 3 arms. And that's all you're hearing every single day. Once a day, maybe even 2 times a day, a new article or a new headline, a new news story on the TV or on the radio or whatever gives you a whole thing of, hey, egg rolls give you a 3rd arm. You hear that long enough, that's all you're going to start believing. Your offspring, the younger generation, hears that long enough, that's all they're going to believe. They're not going to, you know, how hard egg roll stocks or sales are going to plummet, you know. No one's going to want to eat them because everybody's going to believe egg rolls here have you grow a 3rd arm. So you hear that long enough and you start believing it, just believing it because that's what you're being told, that one day someone comes up and goes like, no, they don't. Look, I'll eat one right now. And then they'll show you. And then people just don't want to pay attention to it. Big media, the things, the sources you get your news from won't cover it because that's not what's popular. That's not what's in. Despite proof being shown, they don't want to hear it. So they're going to hide it from other people, from the masses. So people are going to go along being like, hey, egg rolls make you grow 3 arms. When in reality, they don't. And there's proof out there about it. But people are going to think that's an exception, not the norm. So, you know. Well, anyways, second story. Still continuing on this theme of holding people accountable. I'll show you a brief video.
Right now, an Apopka police officer is on leave after investigators say he drove his patrol car drunk. This is video that another driver took that they say shows the officer driving erratically. This was taken Monday night as the officer was on his way to work.
What's your name, man?
Officer Mayorga.
Officer Oscar Mayorga found himself sitting in the back of a patrol car, accused of driving under the influence. Eustis police pulled him over in his squad car July 4th.
There is a open container of alcohol in your vehicle.
Mayorga is a 5-year veteran with the Apopka Police Department. He was on the way to his shift when an alert citizen snapped this cell phone video.
There's definitely something wrong with this guy.
He reported the patrol car driving recklessly, even running stop signs.
He appears to be highly intoxicated.
Body camera video shows Mayorga almost fall during questioning. At first, the officer denied he had anything to drink.
In our profession, you know it's best to be honest, right?
He later agreed to give 2 breath samples. He was arrested after blowing a .391 and .385, nearly 5 times the legal limit to drive.
So can you just put your hands on the roof for me?
All right. So, as you guys saw in that video, it was touching upon the fact that Florida cop, another cop. Wow. In Florida again. Jesus Christ. The other one was in Orlando. This one, oh my God. This one is in Florida. Oh my God. What's going on over there? Florida, man, I swear. You know what's funny? Because everybody says Florida, man. It's just the fact that Florida is very open about their cases. I mean, I guarantee it. If every state was as open as Florida was, there's going to be Montana, man. Kentucky, man. California, man. You know, some messed up stuff happens here in California. I swear to God. Well, anyways, this one's called Florida cop Oscar Mayorga busted for DUI, driving cruiser with beer. Another officer in uniform in his cruiser. Oh my God. Except this one was drinking. To protect and swerve. That's a good one. A Florida police officer was hit with drunk driving raps this week after driving his police cruiser in full uniform with an open beer in a center console, authorities said. Oscar Mayorga, 25, holy crap, of the Apopka Police Department. Apopka? What the hell? Why did I say Florida had a police? My God, I'm hella dumb. Of the Apopka Police Department was pulled over after driving erratically in his official vehicle by a member of the Eustis Police Department. So another department pulled over this fool from a different department. Okay, makes sense. Local 10 reported. A local resident called 911 after spotting the police car running stop signs, careening across the road. Slurring his speech, Mayorga, a 5-year veteran, told his colleagues that he was on his way to work and was not feeling well, cops said. You see, you got to take like these news articles kind of lightly when it comes down to information. There's a lot of stuff that they get wrong and everything. He was 25 years old at the time of arrest, calling him a 5-year veteran. At least in California, you have to be 21 to join. Well, I would think that's actually across the board because you got to hold a pistol. You can't do that until you're 21. I don't know. I got to find out if that's right. Well, that would have meant he was a cop at 20 years old. The responding officer spotted an open beer can in the cruiser's center console and caught a whiff of booze, a heavy whiff of booze coming from inside the car. Insane. Mayorga initially claimed to have not been drinking and said he took pain medication for seizures. But he finally admitted to drinking 3 tall cans of beer before hitting the road to begin his shift, according to the report. Mayorga's blood alcohol level registered at .391, nearly 5 times the legal limit. God damn. This fool's having a good time. His department confirmed that he was due to work that evening and he was since been placed on administrative leave. Here's the thing. Sometimes, this is about me personally. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, damn, 29, I still haven't hit my goals, you know? 29, still haven't hit my goals. And I'm like looking at this people like this, 25 years old, already being told he was a 5-year veteran. What am I doing in my life? What have I done with my life so far? But then I read articles like this. And yeah, you could have people who have head starts than you do. Fulfill your goals before you do at an earlier time than you've done. But this guy, 3 tall cans, .391 blood alcohol level. At 25 years old, this guy's done. Yeah, at the end it says his department confirmed that he was due to work that evening and he has since been placed on administrative leave, which means he's going to get paid while he's gone pending investigation and everything. But I mean, like, come on. This is a cold cut case. You can't get any more factual than this. lying in full duty uniform. Although I'm digging their side patch. Holy crap. The Apopka. My God. That looks fancy. Yeah. Lying. Full uniform in his cruiser. Swerving left around. I'm sure they got it on dash cam. Him lying. Then admitting to it. Openly admitting to it on camera. On his own free will. And then finding an open can in the center console where his vehicle's at 25 years old. This guy not only, because I'm saying this because this was last year or like almost a year ago, and there hasn't, at least I haven't found an update yet. This guy's not only going to get fired, he's going to do time. If he does time, not like community service or anything like that. But he'll never be allowed ever, if they're smart, ever be allowed to work any law enforcement job ever again. Any state, any county, anywhere, you know. So, how do you call it? So yeah, so seeing this, it kind of sucks because it's just like, who knows, 25 years old. I'm sure this isn't his he wasn't an alcoholic, because I mean, like, come on, you got to be an alcoholic or just stupid if you're slamming 3 tall cans before you get into work and have nobody notice. It's just like, come on, dude, you know how distinguished, like, how distinct the scent of alcohol is? I mean, come on, man. I remember, I'm not gonna say this story. It's a little but my buddies know this story though. But yeah, so Jesus, it's just like, I'm sure he wasn't doing this at his very start. The fact that he got to be here, let's just say at the time frame they said 5 years. The fact that he was doing this job for 5 years, he must have really gotten sloppy at the very end here, if this was something he was doing on the regular since he first started, you know. But seeing as this is his first time, at least from what we know, he got caught doing this, it's like, this is probably most likely something, at least in my experience, that has had to develop as time passed for whatever reason. Does it suck? Yeah. Because I mean, like, come on, being an alcoholic isn't good. I mean, like, a lot of people, I don't know, just like, yeah, it gets depicted in movies and TVs, and I'm like, oh, hey, hard times. But it's just like, unless you've been there, you know, people don't really know how it's like. Just drinking every day, going home, slamming an entire bottle to yourself, waking up with the worst hangover, pulling yourself together, taking a cold shower, and then just going right back and doing it all over again. And it sucks. And sometimes it could just bleed out into your job. It happens a lot. Doesn't matter what it is, law enforcement, warehouse, taxi driver, any job, even office jobs. Sometimes the problems at home, your own personal issues, at some point or another, bleed out into your work life, into your professional life, and it sucks. Except in this case, this was an officer while in uniform, while in a cruiser, and this guy's done. He ruined himself. I'm not going to say he ruined his life, but when it comes down to his life in law enforcement, that's done, at least in my opinion. But in the end of the day, that doesn't change the fact that you're held accountable. You're still in charge of your actions. You're still, how do you say it? Yeah, you're still in charge of your actions. You still got to take responsibility of the choices you made and the outcomes of them. It doesn't matter that you were under the influence. It doesn't matter if you just wanted to have fun or anything like that. When the result is negative, when the result is you breaking the law, you got to own up to it. Just own up to it. Take responsibility, take Well, anyways, I feel like it's a pretty chill ass episode too. I like the music in the background if you guys are able to go. If audio is better, well, here's the thing. Yesterday when I uploaded that video, I remember when I was editing, I was thinking, damn, everything, the news clips and everything are hella loud compared to how I'm speaking. But then like, I don't know, I did some Google searching and I realized that I was actually speaking lower than I usually did in my other videos. And I'm like, wow. So I blasted up my volume in my editing software to full blast. And even though it made me louder, when I started like listening to the finished product, it still sounded pretty low, at least lower than the other videos. So I just kept thinking. I was like, oh man, because I had the microphone in between my monitors that way. So when I look up to the camera, you know, my voice is going towards the microphone instead of the microphone being to my side and just catching what it can. So I rearranged my printer here, rearranged my stuff, and I moved my microphone arm to right next to me. Good thing I bought this table that actually extends outward and everything. So right next to me. And yeah, so now the mic is literally up to my mouth. So I hope you guys are able to hear me a lot better, a lot clearer and everything. And the cool part about this, I should have done it sooner, but at least it's done now. The cool part about this is the fact that once I'm done, I can just lift up my microphone arm, like just move it up, and it'll be out of my way. It won't be in front of my face anymore. It won't do any of that stuff. And then when I need to talk, I just pull the microphone arm down. What are those words? I would just pull the microphone arm down and it'll be positioned right where I'm speaking. Pop filter and all. So it's good, actually. Oh, man, I'm so happy I did this. That and the fact that I'm looking at my Focusrite Scarlett Solo Gen 3 and seeing that it's picking up every single word that I'm saying, because it does this flashing green light whenever I speak into the mic and everything. With every word, every syllable, it flashes on and off and everything, and it's great. I'm glad I bought this thing. I mean, it's the Scarlett Solo meaning, you know, one alone. So it only has a one how do you call it, port for my for my mic. I wanted to originally get two microphones instead of in case I brought any of my homies over to my place and we wanted to do a podcast together. But seeing as I'm the only one here, and with the power of technology, if I wanted to invite anybody over, we can do it over through the computer and everything. But yeah, so I just settled with the first one, and I'm very happy that I did. Truly happy. Just finished up my coffee. Hope you enjoyed the jazz music in the background if you're able to hear it. And don't really have anything else. Like I said, it's my Monday. It's 10:35 right now that I'm looking at the time. I'm gonna go ahead, wrap this up. Then I'm gonna go run in place for about half an hour, and then lift heavy things for another hour, and then shower and get ready for work. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Mind of Mando. I'm glad I could entertain you for another day. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And you guys rest up, look both ways before across the street, especially in case there's a cop driving 35 miles over the speed limit with no lights and sirens on. All right, guys, take it easy. See you.